tour. I am heading to F.D.R. State Park in Pine Mountain, Georgia. It's about 2.5 hours from where I live in Athens. And it is one of my very favorite state parks in Georgia. Back when I was learning how to backpack, it was one of the places I went to the most. It is just a great, amazing state park. I had planned originally I was going to go up on the Appalachian Trail this weekend, but some pretty nasty thunderstorms were scheduled to move through the area tonight and tomorrow. So I decided that I didn't feel like tangling with Thor and lightning bolts and thunder. So I decided to head southwest, and no thunderstorms down there. Improvise, adapt, overcome, and pivot when necessary. Alright, on our way, about 2 hours till we get there. Y'all, the only bad thing about this drive is that, yes, I have to go through Atlanta. Ew. No offense to Atlanta people, I just don't like big cities. And I lived in Atlanta for literally 50 years, and oh, the traffic and the clutter and the congestion and the traffic. I have some form of PTSD from Atlanta. Do not like. And lest you think I'm singling out Atlanta unnecessarily, I would feel the same about any big city. But yeah, no, there's a reason I ran away to live in a small town. But you know, some things are worth going through a place. Just because I'm going through Atlanta doesn't mean I have to stop here unless the traffic does. Ew. It's okay to pass through on the way to where I'm going. I feel like there's a life metaphor there somewhere, but you know, whatever. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. Well, y'all, welcome to the adorable little town of Pine Mountain, Georgia. I am 2.4 miles away from Roosevelt State Park. And honestly, it's been so long since I've been here, I forgot how cute this little town is. This is adorable. I forgot how much I loved it down here. It is a neat little town. Anyway, we are almost there, so I will be back in a bit. Alright, I've got all signed in, got my permit, I'm ready to go. Let me give you a little bit of a quick tour of the visitor center, at least the outside. Here's the visitor center. Lovely old historic stone building. Little library there. And then you'll check out these views. These views are awesome. And you know, I forgot about these views too, but look, I got some rocking chairs. And check these views out, guys. I mean, okay, not quite as amazing as Brasstown Bald, but still pretty dang cool. And of course, I've said a lot of times, you know, there are people who are just really motivated by getting up the really big tall mountain and seeing the views, and that's what motivates them. That is not what motivates me. I mean, it's cool and all. The views are nice. But the thing about backpacking that I like is being immersed in nature and away from humans, and being away from the sounds of the city and cars and yeah, that's what I like about hiking. Views are a nice, you know, bonus, but take them or leave them, I don't care. It's just get me out in nature. And speaking of getting out in nature, it is now time to drive to the trailhead and get to hiking. All right, here we are, leaving from the Fox Den trailhead, and it is roughly a 3-mile hike to the beach bottom campsite, which is backcountry 9. And one thing I have always liked about this park is everything is so well maintained, and the signage is so great. It is really, really great.
So we go 3.1 miles that way.
So along with testing out my new backpack, I'm testing out my new hiking shoes. I forget which variety of Hokas these are. I got them last week. My oboes that I had used for probably, gosh, 2.5 years now, they were pretty well dead. And so I went to REI specifically because I know I could have gotten them probably slightly less expensive elsewhere, but REI does have that fantastic return policy, and I've never used this kind of this brand before, so I don't know if they're going to work for me or not. So figured with REI it is safe to get something and try it out, and that way if it legitimately does not work, I have options. Whereas if I had just ordered them online from somewhere and I got a shoe that didn't work for me, I would have just been kind of stuck. But so far so good. I took them on a little walk around the neighborhood last night and they did fine. Of course it was just a mile, no big deal. And so far in the first 10 minutes of my hike, they're great. I have to say I really am liking this Hyperlight pack so far. This is the first time I've really worn it out with a full load, but it fits really well. It is very comfortable, and I think it was a great investment for my thru hike next year. I mean, my Osprey was good. I liked it. It was very comfortable, but forget how much the Osprey weighed. 4 pounds, 6 pounds, something like this. The pack itself, forget the exact weight. This one weighs like 1.5 pounds. So that right there is cutting off a lot of weight. And again, with my variety of back issues and whatnot, got to be very conscientious about what I carry and how I carry it. I think part of my injury last year was not only was I carrying too much stuff, too much heavy stuff, because I didn't really have everything dialed in real good for more than a weekend, but also it was like so unbalanced. I really didn't have it balanced out right. And when I got to Neil Gap, Bill the Pack Whisperer did a shakedown for me and showed me precisely how to pack my backpack and pack it well. And even though at that time I hadn't gotten rid of much anything, it was like night and day. Night and day. All of a sudden it felt like I was carrying less than I was. But I think the fact that it was unbalanced last year during my hike, I think that really exacerbated my back issues. I think that contributed heavily to throwing my already out of whack back even more out of whack and ending my hike. So, the past year it's been physical therapy, it's been working out, it's been dialing in the food, some days better than others. And yeah, I am happy to say that my hip tendinopathy is 100% gone now. That was the most excruciatingly painful thing. My back issues, aside from the arthritis, basically gone. Maybe a little tiny bit, but for the most part, gone. So, I have 9 months to go, so the next 9 months, I'm going to be very hardcore focused on hiking, camping, training. Now that I've got things with work settled down, I can get back on a schedule with the gym. Yeah, so I've got 9 months and I'm going to make every single one of these days count. Oh gosh, y'all, I forgot about this section here. I love these old rocks. You know, I've often said these rocks tell a story. Gazillions of years of history and change and trauma and healing, all contained in these rocks. They talk to you. If you know how to, oh my God, a frog. Oh, he went away. Did y'all see the little froggy? Let me see if I can get closer. Hello, froggy. Nope, he's way down in his little hole there. Anyway, there's a frog. Anyway. You know, I again regret not taking more geology courses in college because it's fascinating. Every line on these rocks means something. Everything tells a story. And if you stand real close, you can feel their story. Even if you can't read it and you can't hear it, you can feel it. You can feel the story. Eons and eons of life in these rocks. So there's your daily dose of minor mysticism. I'm about 3/4 of a mile in, and here's a nice little spot to stop for lunch. If I'd gotten here early, like I originally wanted to, then yeah, that'd be a nice spot to take a break. But I have eaten lunch. And it is later in the day, so I will not be stopping. It is so hot, y'all. So freaking hot. But look, shade. And shade is a beautiful thing. I absolutely love this state park. I forgot how much I loved it. It used to only be about an hour and a half from where I lived. Now living in Athens, it's about 2.5 hours. So it's not impossible. It's just a little extra effort. Of course, have to drive through Atlanta. Ew, traffic. But this really is a great park. And I think I will add it back to my list of places I go regularly, even if it is annoyingly far away. Because there's just so many good trails here. And they have a wide variety of backcountry campsites. It really is great. Like I was saying, all the campsites and the trails are very well marked. This here is the Turtle Hollow campsite. I've stayed there a few times, and it's honestly, I've not stayed at a campsite I didn't like. I don't think I've stayed at the beach bottom site where I'm going now. But anyway, I digress. The point is, the trails and campsites are so well marked here. And for a directionally impaired human like me, that is a big plus. So, I just wanted to show y'all that. I think I have about, I have about 1.6 miles to go. I'm right at the 1.5 mile mark. I have just been moseying along. Well, mostly because I'm slow anyway, but also it's like 90 degrees. It's hot. And those are moseying temperatures. I don't feel like having a heat stroke today or any day. A little bit of a creek crossing here. Nothing drastic. Very easy to get across. Just mud and some rocks. No big deal. thing here to get us over most of the mud, but not all of it. Okay, this is cool, y'all. I'm pretty sure I just saw my first ever fox. I heard a noise off to my right, and it sounded like a squirrel, or maybe a deer, because I did see a deer run across earlier. And I looked over and I saw this big bright red blur with a big poofy tail. And at first my brain thought squirrel, and I thought, no, that's too big to be a squirrel. But that tail is too big and poofy to be a dog. And then it jumped into a hollow in a tree. Of course, it was all too fast for me to get a picture. I barely saw it at all, but yeah, pretty sure I saw a fox. So way cool. Add that to my list of animals I've seen for the first time. Almost there. Have about 7/10 of a mile to go to get to the campsite. It's very rocky here. Oh, and it's still very hot. It is cooling down some, but not a lot. Don't worry, I am drinking electrolytes. And I just started on my 2nd liter of water, so all good. And almost there. This is going to be a fun little obstacle course. I think I can safely say that, no, I have not stayed at this particular campsite before. Because while I remember spots that we've gone past up until now, this does not look familiar to me, and I definitely would remember this. But it is very cool. I like this. And yeah, we have maybe 3/10 of a mile to go, so almost there. Look at these giant ferns, y'all. It is very Jurassic Park around here. We've gotten through the rocks, which I assume is God's way of preparing me for Pennsylvania on the AT. And now we are in Fern Gully here. Just waiting for that T-Rex to come around the corner. This is awesome. Seriously, y'all, welcome to Jurassic Park. This is awesome. And I am really close to my campsite, I think. Just past the 9-mile mark. And according to the little guide they gave me, it's not far past the 9-mile marker, so getting close. Check it out, y'all. We are here. Beach bottom campsite. That way. Right next to this creek. See a bench over there. This is going to be a lovely evening. I'm going to give you a tour. That's the bridge going across the creek to the campsite. As you can hear, it's running along very nicely. And then yes, here is this very big, very large campsite. Several tents could camp here. But no, it's just me. I get it all to myself. Yay! No picnic table, but there is a bench. And that is plenty good enough. And no, I will not be making a fire because it's hot enough. Thank you very much. But yeah, this here is my home for the night. That was a very easy hike. It was 3.48 miles, so about right at 3.5 miles. The only thing that made this hike difficult was the heat. But other than that, it was very cool. Happy little hike. So now I'm gonna get camp set up. I forgot to tell you about this. I saw another really cool critter on my way here. I'm walking along the trail and I hear something rustling on the ground. And I look down and I see about this much of a critter. Now, judging from its head and its neck and all, I thought it was like a really cool like a rat snake or something. That's how big it was. It was snake-sized, right? It was about like this big around, and I thought I had stumbled across a really neat snake until it ran off and saw that it had legs, and it was just one really giant freaking lizard or salamander or some kind of amphibian. But I had never seen one that big before. I literally thought it was a snake until I saw its legs. It was huge. You know, I'm used to seeing like lizards and salamanders and stuff that are about like this big. You know, this one was probably 5-6 inches long. And like I said, he was big enough that when I didn't see his legs, I thought it was an actual snake. So that was really freaking cool. I'd never seen that big of a amphibious lizard creature out here before. So that was kind of neat. I saw a fox, I saw a frog, I saw a deer, and I saw a really big freaking amphibian. So, yeah. Hopefully nothing else wanders into my campsite tonight, because I've seen a lot of firsts today. First giant lizard, first fox. Let's not have tonight be the first bear, okay? That's just, I'm good with what I've seen so far. I'm fine with it. So we'll just keep it at that, okay? Alright, now I'm going to set up camp. I just had to tell y'all that real quick because it was freaking cool. I love critters.
Okay guys, I got my tent all set up. Got my sleeping pad, my little pillow, and my summer quilt there. Very, very light. And this is my little home away from home. And look, I am right by the creek. Is that not the most perfect thing ever?
Alright, well, it's about 7:30. I got my dinner done. This is my homemade cozy to heat up my food. I made one of the Knorr pasta sides, you know, the ones you can get for like $1 in the grocery store. So it's pasta, and it's supposed to be cheese and broccoli flavor, but I see neither in there. I just see noodles and sauce. And I had some powdered milk that I threw in there because, you know, the original recipe calls for milk when you make it on the stove. Put some powdered milk. And if I feel like it, I got chicken to throw in it too, but I'm honestly not that hungry. So I think probably, you know, the noodles are going to be good enough. But yeah, I got my dinner, and all the crickets are out here singing. And yeah, I guess that is a wrap. Well, at least for now. I'm sure I'll ramble on more later. But it is very, very peaceful here. Perfect. Absolutely perfect campsite.
Guys, look. It's an armadillo. I heard something in the, you know, in the leaves walking by, and I looked over, and at first I thought maybe it was a rabbit or a squirrel, but it was moving too slow. I thought, what kind of critter is it? I walked over here to see. I don't know how well it's showing up on the screen, but yeah, that would be an armadillo. I haven't seen one not flat in a long time. Oh my God, it's an ant. No, that's an armadillo. There he goes. Oh my God, that's so freaking cool. That is amazing. Look at him. Oh my God. Oh, he's playing in the mud. Look at it. Oh my God, he's getting a mud bath. Oh, this is phenomenal. Oh, he's having so much fun. Oh my God. This is amazing. Oh my God. this so much. Bye, little fella.
Well, guys, I am done for the day. All is well. It's peaceful. It's quiet. It is almost dark. I'm going to sleep. Yep, today was pretty awesome. Look at the frog I said I saw yesterday. I'm almost back to my car. And look, coming up the trail from the other way. Here he is. I'm whispering so I don't scare him away. So far, this has been the only critter I saw today. Unlike yesterday, when I saw every critter known to man except for a bear. Well, y'all, it is 9:26 on Monday evening. I got home about 8:30. Had the best shower in the world. Nice, very cold shower to counteract 48 hours of 95-degree heat. Perfect. And, yeah, no, my knee is angry at me because I forgot my little knee brace thing, so I have that elevated. I have taken Advil, all the things. So now I am just going to chill out, read my book, and go to sleep because I got to work at 7:45 tomorrow. So thanks for hiking with me, y'all. Have an awesome day, awesome week, and don't forget, live, love,